So even with the demands of daily pressures, we find the time to let Jesus in every day. But look, see, God said that he will multiply you only if you want him. Only if you want him. You let him in. At the end of this thing, it says Jay Moore is a CPA and is CEO of Living Free Enterprises. We teach people a new way to live. This is what's going to be in the magazine. I don't know when this magazine is coming. But like I said, 10,000 at the end of the year. That means that God he needs me to participate. But look, then I get another message. I get a message from Frank Dent. He asked me, Jay, I want you to speak be on a panel for some at-risk kids. 250 kids will probably be here in June. I want you to speak. May I be honored? Capitol Heights somewhere. Look, man. Listen, man, Frank has got his own ministry. He's a minister right now. Everybody's ministering. People are ministering. And all I can say, Reg, is that life is good. I apologize. Man, I see some other people just joined the call. I'm sitting here talking to my older brother. He just got on. You can go ahead and announce yourself, and then I will be just elated if I could just kind of share my story about living free, just so that you can understand. I'm not sure all of what you heard, but look, all I know is that right now, this movement is moving. This movement is for everybody. So if you don't know who I am, my name is Jay Moore. I am a CPA right here in Maryland, certified public accountant, and I am the CEO of a new company that we recently started. It's called Living Free Enterprises, because we want to help teach everybody a new way to live, help teach everybody that they can be financially free. That's right. And so we started this business just recently. But look, I have a background just like you have a background. I have a story just like you have a story. And my story starts this way. My background starts this way. I come from humble beginnings. Grew up in the city of Newark, New Jersey. I don't know that you know where that is. I don't know that you've been there, but they call it Brick City. Brick City is named that because there was a lot of projects, low-income housing. They were high-rise. And low-income people stayed there. We grew up in this city. We lived on a street where, from time to time, people may have gotten killed on the corner. But we were fortunate, my brothers and myself, we were fortunate to have parents that made sure that they put us in private school. They made sure that they gave us a good foundation to live on. They made sure that we had what we needed. They didn't have a lot of money. We lived in a 3-bedroom apartment, in the city. It wasn't nothing great about this place. We had a little tiny TV, black and white, for a long time. We shared rooms together. We, hand-me-downs, all of this stuff. This is how life begins for so many. But we all believed that there was more out there. We all believed that there was something great that we could do. And so we all pressed forward. And I pressed forward, finishing high school, because that's what my parents said, you got to finish that. And, went on to college, just like you may have gone on to college, and got a degree in accounting. Finished and didn't have a job, and a friend of mine called me up and said, hey Jay, man, if you're looking for a job, my sister is the director of human resources for a law firm in Washington, D.C. He says, I'll tell her about you. He told her about me. She hired me into the mail room because that's all they had. I took the job because I needed one. I just finished college. But I was looking for work. And I was able to find my first accounting job right there in Washington, D.C. I'm talking about, they gave me the offer letter. It was $22,000. $22,000. Think about it like this. $22,000 in this day and age, that's probably about $40,000, right? So they gave me a whopping $22,000 to get started. I was doing accounting though, so I didn't care. I didn't have a family. I didn't have any children. You know, I didn't have much responsibilities outside of myself, so I went ahead and I worked this job, and I was there for about 8 months, I think 9 months, and things were going okay, I thought. I came in late from time to time, because I was young, and I had good values, but hey, sometimes I might have got on the subway late, or I may have gotten into traffic, and there was a lot of traffic in DC, so my boss was taking notice of this. The question is, a lot of people, or do you have a boss like that? I had a boss like that. She was taking notice of the times I came in late. She took notice of, if I was talking to people in the office, which there's nothing wrong with talking to people in the office, but I talk to people at the office because I feel like, well, if I work with them, I should at least know who they are. And then one day, it was the July 3rd, I was leaving work, because we were going to be off on that Friday, and she says, Jay, come into the office. I said, hey, how you doing? She says, she's handed me my check, and she says, Jay, today is your last day. I got fired. Have you ever been fired from a job? I got fired. Can you believe this? But look, see, sometimes when something good is coming, you got to go through something bad first. But I got a story here for you guys. I want you to understand what's taking place and what's going to take place in your life if you want it to. So look, I got fired from my job. I walked out of there, I think I was out of work for about a week, collect unemployment for 1 week, got a new job, and I got a raise. I went from $22,000 to $28,000 a year. That was a lot, 6 more thousand. I was excited. I said, I won't make the same mistake that I did last time though. I'm not going to be late, and I was not late to work. I got to work on time every week. Every day I was on time. I was there early. Shoot, I made sure that I did more work than what they asked me to do. I did extra work. I was always asking for more work. They gave me more work. I was excited. I got another raise. I think I went to $30,000. And then next thing you know, there was some news that came down. The company was moving to Philadelphia. And I was just like, I'm looking around. I'm like, was anybody going? Nobody was going. I said, well, I'm going to go. Shoot, I can probably become the accounting manager up there. And I went and talked to the boss of the department. He was the chief financial officer. And he says, Jay, you know what? If your supervisors say that, you're good enough for it, then I have no problems giving you a promotion when we get there. I'm excited. I'm doing all the work. Then we moved up there, and I'm commuting back and forth every week. I stayed in the hotel. I came back home, and one day I noticed something happened. I saw one guy come in. He was labeled the accounting manager. I'm like, he's the accounting manager? How's he the accounting manager? I'm like, okay. Then I didn't say nothing. I said, well, maybe they're just going to make me the supervisor. I'm just, okay, it's coming. I didn't know better. I'm still young. I might have been about 20, I think I'm about 26, 27, and then it's just like, and then the next week, somebody else showed up. They was the accounting supervisor. That's when I hit the roof. I was like, are you serious? I stormed into the CFO's office like, what's going on? I thought you was going to give me a promotion. He was like, oh, Jay, man, you know what? We were just looking for somebody that had a little more experience. Has anybody ever passed over a promotion? Has anybody been passed over for a promotion? Have you not been given a raise for a different reason because somebody decided not to do it? I sat there and I was really upset. I was disappointed. I didn't know what to do. All I said was, look, man, can you at least give me the severance package that you offered me? He said, well, I can't give you what we offered you. That's gone. They had offered me 6 months of pay. 6 months that I didn't take it. So he says, well, I give you some. If you stick around for the next 2 months, and I had to stay 2 more months. I had to commute 2 more months. If you stay around for 2 months, I'll give you 2 months severance package. I'm just like, ain't this messed up? I'm like, all right, fine, okay, sure. So, I'm getting close to the 2 months, and I'm like, man, I can't wait till this thing is over with. one Thursday I had to put together my expense report, and I put together this expense report, realized I didn't have my receipt. I said, I don't have my dry cleaning receipt. And I wasn't thinking that I didn't actually need the receipt. But I called my girlfriend at the time, my wife now. I said, hey honey, can you fax me that receipt? I left it at the house. So she went and she got it and she faxed it. I got it, I looked at it, I'm like, oh man, she's got something on here. Man, she got $3 dress that was on there. I could have just taken it off. But remember, I was disappointed. Remember, they passed over me. So I had a choice right now. I made a decision right then and there that I would, one, remove the receipt, get the whole $12. I said, they're going to pay me the whole $12. It's just an extra $3. It's no biggie. I take the receipt off the report, throw it in my trash can, go to the hotel, I submit it. The next day is Friday. I'm about ready to leave. It's 3 o'clock. My boss calls me in the office because I'm looking for my expense check. Instead of calling me into the office that he's in, he calls me into the HR office. I'm like, uh-oh, what's going on? So I go into the office. He's like, hey, Jay, yeah, well, what's up with your expense report? I'm like, what you mean, what's up with it? What's wrong with it? I wasn't even thinking. It was $3, guys. $3. He was just like, well, I mean, do you remember this right here? He has my old receipt. He said, I didn't see the receipt, Jay, and you had the whole ticket on there, $12. I said, well, what's on the ticket? Well, you got a women's dress. I was like, okay, my bad. $3, take it off. He was like, he says, Jay, I don't think I can trust you. You're fired. I was fired again. What? I'm like, are you serious? I'm getting fired because of this, because of that? I'm like, okay, fine. I'm like, this is crazy. Now, I almost went off up in there. I'm gonna be real. I'm from Newark, New Jersey. I almost laid somebody out up in that joint. But hey, God was working on me, so I didn't do nothing like that. And I just walked out. I left. I had to drive from Philadelphia back to Washington, D.C., and I'm talking about, I was just in shock. Got home, and I'm going to tell you, see, God's always working on your behalf, even when something bad happens. He's just looking for an opportunity for him to shine. But when we don't allow him to shine, and when we don't really give him everything, then he can't give us everything. He can only give us what we can handle. So I went home. I don't remember what I did. I remember getting into bed. I remember telling my girlfriend, at the time, I told her what happened. She felt bad. She actually cried. I didn't cry. Now, I didn't blame anybody except me. And I prayed about it. And I'm going to tell you what God did. He gave me something better. You think this is the second job I got fired from. He gave me a raise in 1 week. I was out of work for 1 week. I got a raise. I'm going somewhere with this, so stay with me. I want you to stay with this story. He gave me a raise. I went from 28 to 30, then from 30 to 34. Then I was at 34,000 to 35,000, and then I got another job. This job took me from that 35,000 to 50,000 a year. This is in 1998. $50,000. My peers was only making 30, maybe 35,000. 50,000 was like somebody running a whole department in accounting. But I was making 50,000 because I was working with, I was in the IT field, but I was doing finance. And I was working with people that was making 80 and 100 and 120 and 200,000. And I'm going to tell you, that 50,000, I got married on that 50,000. I'm talking about that day that I got that offer. I went to K Jewelers that day, opened an account, spent a couple $1,000s on my wife's ring right then and there. Got married on it because I said, man, the Lord is working in my favor. And I was at this job for 3 years. And I moved up. I became a manager. Went from 50 to 70 plus 70. I think I'm about 72 is my base. And then And then I went, and then with bonuses, I was 80,000. I'm talking about I was living well. Anybody else living well on their job right now? Does your job pay you well and you feel like there's no reason to do anything on the side, at least if you've got to spend any time doing it? That's how I kind of felt back then, 1998, 99, 2000, 2001, and there was a big meeting at this job. I was like, what's this meeting about? Everybody's here. And they announced, we're going to be laying off 5,000 people. Effective immediately. Can you imagine? You on the top of the world and you're going to get laid off. But that was just the first wave. Now, I didn't get laid off that day, but I got laid off probably about 2 months after that. But I was preparing. So when they came and told me on a Thursday, Jay, you're laid off. Friday, I had a job. I had a job that started on Monday. Same pay, didn't get a raise this time because I was probably maxing out. Anybody maxing out on their job right now? I was probably maxing out where I was going to be at the time. Because in order to have gotten to 100,000 and 200,000, in that industry, you got to be like CFO. You got to be like, CEOs. Who's getting there? Who's going to be that? A few people do it. I've got a good friend who is a vice president for a big company. Yes, he makes very good money, that's right. But he's been a leader all his life. Even since we was in high school, he was a leader. So that's why he's where he's at. Because he knew what it took to get there. See, most people don't know what it takes to get to the top. But I can tell you guys, after I lost this job, and I went to the next job, and I was there for a little while, that's when the Lord came back around and says, Jay, you don't need this stuff. Jay, I think you can do it on your own. I think you can go out on your own now. This can help you even more. This can help you make more money than what you would be able to make if you stayed in a traditional job. So I let it go. I went cold turkey. I didn't have a job. I told these people bye. Then I went and I started my own accounting and tax business. That was December of 2001. December 12th was the day I incorporated. And when it got started, was excited. We didn't know what we was doing because my wife is an accountant too. We just was doing it. Now she kept working her job, but I was just going, and then next thing you know, she told me that year in 2002 that she was pregnant. I think that was August, September time frame. Then I was like, oh my goodness, I got to do something else. And I was able to learn how to do mortgages. And then I started a mortgage company, and then we made even more money. I'm talking about, guys, you're talking about a year of $500,000, a year of $400,000, a year of $300,000, $200,000. So we made good money in there. The accounting business was making a little bit, but it was the side hustle at that point. But the mortgage business was doing it all. But you know what happened, right? There was a meltdown, wasn't it? It melted down. There was nothing left. I had to shut my business down in 2009, but I realized I still had my accounting business. But you know what it was? I still had my accounting job. So even though I worked for myself, even though I had that business, I had a job. But it was okay because I needed a job. I needed to be able to do something just like you guys are still doing something. And at that point, I didn't know that anything else was out there for me. I was probably that person that was just like, you know what? I'm going to just be here for the rest of my life. I'm going to just retire on this, and this probably all I'll ever do. And I get a call from a good friend of mine, January 2nd of 2012. He says, Jay, he says, Happy New Year, my brother. I'm like, what up? He like, listen, man, I've been doing this thing over here, and man, you got to take a look. You never looked. And 5 minutes before he called, I was sitting and thinking about how I would leverage time and how I could leverage people to make more money. That's our business, time and people. I was like, I'm like, man, I'm not successful at this stuff. Man, this is not me. I don't do a lot of talking. And okay, I'll show up to the meeting. So I showed up. I didn't have to get on the phone call. I just showed up to the meeting. I said, let me listen. There was a bus driver doing the presentation, ex-bus driver. He had driven a bus for 18 years here in Washington, D.C. And he was in the front of the room giving a presentation. And it was just like, I'm looking at this guy like, he's a regular dude. He's me. He grew up in D.C. He was blue collar. His parents didn't have, his mom didn't have anything. You know, they had a small apartment, and he shared a room with, you know, with siblings, and he didn't have much. But he wanted more in his life. I said, that's me. Man, that's me up front. But I don't think I can do that, what he's doing. But that's me. I knew his story. I knew the background. And I was just like, man, well, listen, well, what can I do? I could get in. So they gave me an application, and guys, here's the deal. When I took my application, I didn't fill it out right then and there. Like some of you guys won't fill it out. I went home and I slept on it. And I woke up the next morning and I said, honey, man, I found this new business, man. I went to see, I went with our good friend, and he said that, this business works, and honey, this thing, I think we're gonna be rich. This is what happens, guys, when sometimes you get started in something that somebody else may not believe in. She says, man, are you serious? That stuff never works. Man, you crazy. Look, man, I cannot believe you would even do something like that. Just stick to your accounting. Stick to what you've been doing, is what she said. This is my wife. And I looked at her. And I said, well, honey, I'm going to go ahead and get started because I believe that there's something here. I don't know what it is. You don't got to do nothing with it, but I'm going to do something with it. And that's it. And guys, I'm telling you this story for a reason. Because see, this story that I'm telling you is a story of hope. It's a story of change. It's a story of failure. I failed, but every time I failed, what happened? Something good happened. Every time there was an obstacle, something good happened. So we got started in this business not knowing what this business would bring, except the fact that, hey, I'm already paying for all the services. It makes sense for me to get started, but I had no idea who I would become as a result. This business has changed my life. This business has done things for me that all I can say is that God Himself is right here standing with me. God Himself is working with me, but I'm working on His behalf. This business of essential services, the services that our company offers is simple. Internet, TV, gas, electric, home phones, mobile phones, home security is the baseline. Coffee and healthcare supplements and weight loss supplements coming. All of these things are things that people use every day. That's what this business is built on. But what if I could show you a way that you could earn an unlimited amount of money on those services and those products? Would you be interested in it? So look, guys, we have birthed the Living Free concept. This Living Free movement is going to go from Indian Head, Maryland, and it's going to go to Washington, D.C., and it's going to go to Atlanta, Georgia, and it's going to go to Newark, New Jersey, and it's going to go to California, and it's going to go to Texas, it's going to go to Canada, it's going to go to the Philippines, and it's going to go global. This movement's just getting started. There's room for you. You can be first. Have you ever been first? Choose to be first. Think about it like this. This movement's going to grow to 500 this month. Just getting started. We just getting warmed up. I've been involved for 2 years. That's right. But we've started something new for you. Because this movement is going to go global. This movement is going to grow to 10,000 this year. Why not be in position? Why not put yourself right where you need to be so that you could earn, one, what you're worth, and then be able to help people and be able to live free, to have financial freedom. This is our dream, but more importantly, this is God's dream. This is not mine. This is God's dream. I'm just working it for Him. This is God's dream for everybody on this line. This is God's dream for anybody that wants it. And I'm going to tell you, we can live free. We can be financially free. This company will do everything. This company will pay you. This company has been on the Inc. 500. I don't know that you know what that is, but the Inc. magazine comes out with a magazine every year with the 500 fastest growing companies privately held in all of North America. Our company's been on this list for the past 8 years. Our company has been written in Home-Based Business magazines, Your Business at Home, Success from Home. Our company is located in Rochester, New York. We've been around for 13 years, but yet we are the #1 company there. #1 company in Rochester, New York. Who's #1 in your town? All I know is I'm working with the #1 company there. This company will be the #1 company in multi-level marketing. This company will be the Walmart of direct sales, because direct sales is a $167 billion business. This is bigger than the NFL. This is bigger than the movie business. This is bigger than entertainment combined. Why wouldn't you want to get a piece of that? That's what this business is. And we can show you how to get started. We can show you how to leverage this business to make an unlimited amount of money. So guys, this is my presentation. What I want you to do is get back with the person that mentioned this phone call to you and say, look, I want to know more. I want to see your presentation, your full presentation, and I would like to see how I can live free. If that's what you want to do, get back with them. Do that immediately. And then, guys, we're having another call at 4 o'clock. Have some people that you know jump on this call at 4. I'll say this. I'm going to say similar words at 4 o'clock. And then have them jump back on at 6 o'clock with their friends. And, guys, we can leverage this business, this company, all the way to the bank. My name is Jay Moore. I am a national director with this company, 5 Links Enterprises, but I am more importantly the CEO of Living Free Enterprises, which will teach everybody a new way to live. Thank you for getting on, and I look forward to speaking to you or seeing you at the top. Have a good day.